Good evening, one. Good evening, all. I trust you're all keeping well. Well, hope you all had a good week, enjoying what you're doing and some sunshine in places or snow in others. My guest this evening is the wonderful singer, songwriter, Miss Beverley Stone. Good evening, Beverley. How are you?
Good evening, Ron. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. It has been a long time we haven't set eyes on each other, which is really
Oh,
strange.
definitely.
Real strange. Because sometimes we will see each other more than once a month, performing somewhere or me taking pictures, but it's always good to hear live
Oh,
music. Now, since this lockdown has kicked in, what have you been up to?
what have I been up
Hmm.
to? Good question. Even though I've not really been able to go out and perform for people, which I would usually be doing, I'm trying to keep busy and keep as creative as I can. So I've been fortunate enough to do a couple of shows on Zoom,
Oh, okay.
which has been nice for some places, which I was doing before lockdown. And then I approached a few of them and said, how would you feel about having Zoom or whatever you feel comfortable with, being able to come and perform then, and you'd get a nice bit of entertainment, because a few of them that I performed were sort of in sheltered accommodation, some of them,
Oh, okay.
and they loved it because they could sit with their iPads in their living room doing
Hmm.
their gardening or ironing and listening to me singing. So I
Oh.
did a bit of that, and also a few shows on Facebook for some friends and family, sort of trying to sort of keep everybody's spirits up, as well as myself, our spirits up during
Hmm.
this really difficult time. And just trying to learning to play the ukulele as well. That was another thing that I did in
Oh,
lockdown.
that's different. That's different. Nice one.
So yeah, sort of sending friends my videos of me learning songs, and if there's a birthday in the family or friends, they get the ukulele on their birthday.
Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Now, one of the questions I like to ask
Yes.
to every single musician I've ever met is
Mm-hmm.
what got you started in music?
What got me started in music? Do you know what it was? It was the fact that music was in the family,
Okay.
in respect of the household. My dad was always playing music from when I
Mm-hmm.
was a young kid, and my mum. There would always be music on, and I just had this burning desire to sort of sing. So as soon as I could talk, I was singing. And then as I got older, I wasn't very academic at school, so it didn't come naturally to me. And then when school shows started,
Mm.
I decided to audition for one of them, and that was when I started. It was when I knew, oh, this is something I'd like to do,
Wow.
and just went from there and auditioned for a talent show on television. Many, many, many years ago. I don't know if you know Opportunity Knocks, if you remember
Oh
Opportunity
yeah, I
Knocks.
remember Huey Green, if I'm not
Well, look,
mistaken. Hmm.
when I was 15 when I auditioned. Unfortunately, I didn't get on the show, but
Okay.
it really spurred me to just try and just carry on
Keep
and
on
go
pushing.
knocking on doors and auditioning. And
Hmm.
I just had my first ever contract was working on a ferry liner across the channel. And everybody back home thought it was a really classy cruise liner, but it went from Southampton to Cherbourg backwards and forwards.
Well, it's a start. It is a start. That's how most people start doing something and then working their way up to where they get to, where they eventually end up getting to, which is always nice. Now,
Definitely.
I've heard you perform a number of times, mainly with Vince Dunn big band.
Yes.
Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I love a big band
Oh,
because when you hear the brass section and there's at least four trombones, four sax, and they're really going for it, and I'm thinking, oh, I can live with this all day long. It's nice.
I
It's a
could.
breath of fresh air because
It is.
it's nothing pre-recorded, nothing electronic. This is a man and his instrument, or
It
woman and
is.
his instrument,
Where you
which is
feel
nice.
like you're soaked up with all the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm under the spotlight and everybody's around, we're all around each other, it's like a light comes on. And it's as if everything else around just doesn't
matter.
I mean, obviously the audience matters because they're there watching you, but it's like you could have had a really bad day before you got on the stage or whatever, and it's that nothing matters. Everything feels just right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it feels when you're working with a big band or you're performing, because it's that feeling of just feeling at home with a family, and it's a wonderful feeling.
Well, that is a feeling that only live music can give you. You can listen to a CD, or in our age, a record, vinyl, them things, yeah. If you listen to that, it's like, yeah, I'd love to see these guys live. But if it's one thing I've noticed over the years, when you go and see a band live, it brings you into a different atmosphere with the band. You already know who they are. You've listened to them. You've played them many times. But then when you get the actual CD or vinyl, it's like, it gives you an idea, but not what you heard, which is why you have a lot of people who follow that particular band, and they love that because they know, well, you know what, I've got the music, but I prefer the live stuff because when I get there, I can sit back, relax, and soak up even more.
Oh, definitely.
Which is the way I believe it should be when it comes to music.
Oh, it is, and it's also communicating with the audience. It's feeling as if one person's listening, they're listening to you, and you're singing just to them.
Yeah.
So even though you could have a big crowd of people in the audience, I always like to create that intimate sort of feeling, like a cozy feeling as well. Even when you're on a huge stage, it's still getting that nice feeling that you get, just having a bit of patter between songs, not going overboard, but just having a little bit of, hi, everybody, I want you to have a really good time. I want to take you on a journey, that kind of thing.
That's nice. That is nice.
And talk to the musicians. I love having a natter with them on stage.
I've seen that a few times. I have seen that a few times, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Somebody's done, I don't know, there's been a beautiful trumpet solo, or whoever's doing something special. I like to be able to say, I really enjoyed that. That was lovely. That was beautiful. And it's just about appreciating and respecting each other on the stage. I mean, everybody sees the singer out the front, but without all those wonderful musicians, it wouldn't be possible.
That is true. That is true. Now, we're going to get into the next part of our little chat.
Yes.
Which is your music, as in your top 5 songs. Now, I asked you earlier for top 5 songs, and
they've changed already. No, I'm joking.
It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. The one thing that did not surprise me was when you said to me, Ron, you know what? It was difficult to pick 5.
Oh, God. I mean, I think, have I put the right ones?
Well, when I looked at them and I listened to them, I thought to myself, now, because I've heard you perform quite a few times, I thought, you know what? I can understand this one, oh yeah, and this one, because that's what you like to, that's part of you. All the music that you sent to me is part of what you do. Because I've had drummers on who will say to me, 5 songs, man, I can give you 35, but 5, that's a bit of a mission. But over the lockdown period, quite a few people have said to me, I'm getting used to you asking those questions, because actually watch. And long before I've even got to them, they're thinking, right, I've got 5. The trouble is, it changes. Today, it's this 5. Yesterday, it was another 5. Tomorrow, it's going to be another 5 anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So
definitely.
I thought to myself, it's nice because it's making you work a little bit harder than you would normally do. Because now you have a whole world of music. And what I'm asking you for is to take 5 from that world of music. Which 5 would it be?
Yeah.
I understand it can change, because I was asked a question a few weeks ago and I thought, well, I've got this one, this one, this one. And when I counted it, it's about 40. And I thought, I've got to get rid of somebody. Who do I get rid of? Not the easiest job in the world to do.
Well, it's like that with photography, isn't it? When you take pictures of someone, when I've had a photo shoot and they've sent me all they've sent me all the pictures and they've said, you've got to choose so many.
Yeah. But you like all of them.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm quite critical of myself anyway. And when you're looking at yourself, you're thinking, But sometimes if you work with somebody like yourself who's a very good photographer, it's really hard to find. Just make it small.
Yeah.
You know, make it from so many 50 pictures down to about 10 or something, you know?
Well, what I do, especially when I was at Hideaway, taking pictures there, I'd always do the pictures in black and white. And the reason why I did it in black and white, a lot of people said, oh, no, you don't want to do black and white, do it in colour. And I'm thinking, no, I'm doing it in black and white. Why? Because there's one person doing one job up there. And the best light she can be seen is black and white. Him or her, doesn't matter. Because when Shane went up and did his part, I thought, yeah, do this. Because remember, they're all in tuxes and whatnot. And I'm thinking, you've got to make them look the part just from a picture. So whoever sees the picture is going to think, man, this looks like a classy outfit. Just from seeing the picture. Then the rest of it follows on. They hear the music, they think, oh. And the videos are in black and white as well. I used to do it in colour, but it was a little bit too, I don't know, too give and take. And I thought, no.
You know what? Everything's different. It varies, really. Certain things look lovely in black and white. And other things, it's lovely with colour. I mean, I've got lots of dresses, which unfortunately I've not been able to wear during this time. And some are really nice and vibrant. And I think, oh, if that's in colour on a stage, that's so lovely. But certain colours look quite nice in black and white.
That is true. But yeah, I'm enjoying the, when I take a picture in black and white, because if you look back in the early 30s and 40s at all the jazz musicians, all of their pictures were in black and white. And when people see it, they think, oh, that didn't I'll go back to the old days when it was this, that, and whatnot. And I'm thinking, it would be good to see that, because most singers really do like a black and white picture, especially when they're in full flight, when they're doing their thing, and it's like, man, that looks good. And I've sent so many to so many people, and they said, do I have to choose them? No, they're all yours. That's it. That way you can keep a catalogue of what you want. You've got it right there, and it works. So see if I can take a few pictures of myself now when I'm performing, but there you go.
Yeah, you're a good-looking chap.
I try my best. I do try my best. I do try. Well, believe me, I try my best. Now, the songs that you sent me were from Carole King.
Yes.
Etta James.
Yes.
Sunday Kind of Love.
Sunday Kind of Love, Etta James, yeah.
Deedle's Blues. Diane Shore.
Oh, brilliant. Incredible.
Now, when you hear them, I'm going to play these later on in the show, so everyone's going to understand where we're coming from. And then you've done Irma Thomas.
You can have my husband, but please don't mess with my man.
And I thought to myself, that's different. But then, if nobody's heard you sing, when you hear these, you get a rough idea. Then when you hear Beverley sing, you're going to think, hit the nail right on the head. This one. But this is why I asked for 5. Not 10, not 15, just the 5. Because at some point, these 5 songs have worked for you doing what you're doing. They've given you inspiration. They've made you have the feeling that's needed to do a song. Stuff like that. And I've found it works. It's tricky to get there, but once you've got there, you can sit there and think, yes, this is it, but it will probably change tomorrow. Which is understandable.
Yeah.
But such is life. Now, with your good self, what else do you do?
As well as performing, I like to be on the other end of it, and I like to help people. So I'm also a vocal coach as well.
Ah.
So during lockdown, it's been, instead of face to face that I'm used to doing, I've been teaching online.
And I take it's going well.
It is. It's good. I mean, it's like anything. You're building it up, and there's been quite a few clients over the course of time that some of them more than happily they really miss the face to face contact. So some of them it's not bothered them doing online. It suited them actually, because they can just fit it around their schedule and they can set up their computer and they have their lesson. So it's like anything. It has its days where you get quite a lot of people coming through and it's busy, and then other days when it's very quiet. So it's, it's very up and down at the moment.
Up and down. But hopefully once the everything gets back to, it's not going to be normal as we knew it, but it's going to be a little bit different. But I think we can adapt is the word to use.
We can adapt.
Because we've adapted to everything else.
We've got
so
to,
far,
haven't we?
Well, it's no choice really. But you
No,
just do
not
what you
really.
do.
I mean, face masks. I have to say, I'm starting to get used to them now. They come. They're part of my design,
Your attire,
my outfit.
Yeah. Well, such is life. Now, to end the little talk that we're having, where can we find you on social media for your singing, coaching? Where can we? Do you have a website for that? Or
I do have a website. If you put into the computer, it would be www.beverleystone.net.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Ley for Beverly. Some people spell it Ly.
Mm-hmm. I did twice, and I thought, oh no, I've got to change this. Got to do that wrong.
I'm also on Instagram. I've got a page on Instagram, Beverley Stone Singer, and I'm also on Facebook as well. So it's not tricky to. It's so easy to find me. But first, if you go into my website, then you'll get the attachments to the Instagrams as well and the Facebooks.
Okay.
And then you can see what's going on, and that's where I'm at. That's where I am. So
okay, nice one. Well, Beverley, thank you very much for your time. We'll be playing some
welcome.
of your songs.
It's been lovely chatting to you.
As always, it's always good to catch up with old friends. Sorry,
yeah,
young friends
really
that
lovely.
you haven't seen for a while. That's the word I'd use.
Exactly. No, it's been nice. And, you miss people because you just don't get a chance to see them at gigs at the moment. I'm just looking forward to when things are going to start opening up again.
Well, if everyone does as the law requires, does it within reason, then I think we should all be good.
I have also done a little live streaming at the Hippodrome. So if anybody wants to go on to Hippodrome Live through Facebook,
okay,
they can catch my show that I did a couple of weeks ago, which was I went along to the beautiful venue. They've got a rooftop terrace, and I did a lovely show there. Not obviously didn't have an audience. I had a lovely sound man and good friend of mine. She runs the entertainment there. So they were the only two that were with me.
Yeah, well, at least you got out to do something, which is nice.
It was surreal, but it was lovely. It was lovely to do. As
always, my dear. Well, Beverley, thank you very much for your time this evening.
You're welcome. Thanks
we shall bump into each other at some point. Well, soon. You never know. Hopefully another Vince Dunn gig, I believe, but you never know.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
But thank you very much for your time, Beverley. Have a great evening.
And you too. Lovely to see you. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.